I think the idea is that some people can handle kind of the abuse and some people can't. Some people get the abuse and then they get better, and then I mean he just wasn't capable of getting better. And obviously, I don't think he was completely stable before even going into that. Honestly, I think he was unstable. So I'm guessing that's a hooker. During the day, though, that's kind of crazy.
Me so horny. Me
I've,
so horny.
I, I've heard that voice line. Me love you long time.
Me so horny, me love you long Tim.
Whoa. Ah, that is gross.
Who's Long Tim?
Whew, man. Man, I tell you, the whole Vietnam War was so mismanaged. I don't want to get super political as far as that goes, because I'm not like 100% well versed in it, but I know quite a bit more than maybe your average person. And it's amazing, as soon as you start to make ground, you pull out.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
There he is.
Please.
Mwah!
I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Like
That's
July, Christmas, and New Year all rolled into one.
Jack's dad.
Chile. If we move Vietnamese, they are evacuees. If they come to us to be evacuated, they are refugees.
I'll make a note of it, sir.
NBA soldier deserts after reading
Exactly how to spin it, I guess.
In the future, in place of search and destroy, substitute the phrase sweep and clear. Sweep and clear. Got it?
Got it. Very catchy.
We run two basic stories here. Grunts who give half their pay to buy Goose toothbrushes and deodorants, winning of hearts and minds, okay? And combat action that results in a kill, winning the war. Rewrite it and give it a happy ending. Say, one killed. Make it a sapper or an officer, which?
Gonna get married. I don't know where I know that. I think my mom used to sing it all the time.
You weren't even in country.
Eat shit and die, you fucking Spanish American, you fucking pogue. The 1,000-yard stare.
I've heard people reference
been in the
that.
shit for too long.
See, these long shots like this are just really cool. Dude, I'd love an AR-15 styled in like the M14 sort of design. I love that design.
In strategic terms, Charlie's cut the country in half. The civilian press are about to wet their pants, and we've heard even Cronkite's gonna say the war is now unwinnable. In other words, it's a huge shit sandwich and we're all
Under the rules of engagement that they had in Vietnam, absolutely. And I can't remember when things changed around.
Does this mean that Anne Margaret's not coming?
Permission to go with Joker?
Sir, permission not to take Rafterman with me?
You still here? Vanish, Joker. Most Ricky taken. Take Rafterman with
Dude, I completely, I feel like he would drive me a little nuts. Get some. Dude, are you shooting anything? I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you'd be wasting ammo like that. What? No, come on.
Anyone who runs is a VC. Anyone who stands still is a well-disciplined VC.
I mean, there might have been people like that, but so is this movie pretty anti-war, anti-Vietnam? So was this a pretty anti-war movie, or at least an anti-Vietnam one? I believe in a war against communism, because communism is a zero-sum game. It's basically, with communism, if anybody else is doing well, they're not doing well. And you can see that in places like with Russia, and their, like, especially during, or the Soviet Union, and their involvement in the Vietnam War, or in conflicts with like Venezuela and stuff like that, or the Cold War and all that stuff. I'm sure there'll be people watching this that are probably have those leanings. I literally had an argument with somebody on another channel who said that I should read, instead of Thomas Sowell, read Stalin, which is insane, because Well, I guess not super insane because mass murderers do make for a fascinating read. So, jeez. So, so who killed them? The VC, I guess.
20. We got a body count, sir.
We think it's 20. They went around their houses real polite and asked them to report the next day for political re-education.
And what is that button on your body armor?
A peace symbol, sir.
You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What's that supposed to be? Some kind of sick joke?
I mean, it doesn't have to be a contradiction completely. Love some of the architecture. It's really pretty. I know Adam Baldwin's in this too, right? Love that guy. I'll be really happy to see him, honestly. Love him in Chuck and in Last Ship. He's really good. Okay, he's one of his people from boot camp or whatever.
Stars and Stripes. They'll make you famous.
Oh, there he
We're
is.
the Lust Hawk Squad.
No, I'm a combat correspondent.
Oh, you seen much combat?
Well, I've seen a little on TV.
I'm gonna tear you a new asshole.
Rape. That's a rape. This is what raping is. You're a raper and you've raped me. That's a rape! Rape!
You might not believe it, but under fire, Animal Mother's one of the finest human beings in the world. All he needs is somebody to throw hand grenades at him the rest of his life.
Antagonistic, sort of like. Dude, get your finger off the trigger, bruh.
You want to take a good picture?
This is my bro.
Your bro? Oh, was a dead guy? Yep.
After we rotate back to the world, we're gonna miss not having anyone around who's worth shooting.
You know what's crazy with Vietnam? I feel like you forget there's any sort of like civilization to it, like big buildings or bridges or anything like that. You just think of like the palm trees and grass and all that. It's interesting. He's using trigger discipline. Finger on the trigger. Keep it off, dude. That's why I almost feel like you could... Dude. Oh no. How did he get hit? Was it shrapnel? Shrapnel get him? Jeez. That's true. Shrapnel is like insane, the distance it gets. Man, I know the PTSD was real when it comes to Vietnam. Like this kind of handheld view of this. I feel like the physical acting for most of these people is just really good too. Did they actually go through go through actual Marine training on this? Because it wouldn't surprise me, especially with Arlie Army being on it. I'd imagine that that's something he'd probably want. Oh man. Dude. I don't think many people know, but the reason for taking the magazine or the clip or whatever and like knocking it against something, whether it's your helmet or if it's against a gun or whatever, is to make sure that the cartridges or the rounds were knocked back into the right position. Oh shoot. Dude. I tell you what's so great about this is just the practical aspect of this. I had no idea that Family Guy was so influential in this movie. I'm just kidding. I understand this is before Family Guy. And this song existed before. About the birds. If you look at old footage, it is just like that actually. I really love this shot. That's so cool. There'll be shots like that all the time where they're looking back at the camera or something like that. And they're like, you see one guy do this.
I'll be General Custer. Who'll be the Indians? Hey, we'll let the Gooks play the Indians.
My gosh.
Go easy, bros.
Better you than me.
Well, at least they died for a good cause.
What cause was that?
Tough break for a hand job. He's jerking off 10 times a day.
No shit. At least 10 times a day.
My goodness.
You fucker starts jerking off in the waiting room. Instant Section 8.
Why didn't Klinger do that?
Well, like you see, you know, it's a major city, so we have to assault with tanks. We roll in the streets, a place to hell. When we're in White City.
This feels like actual interviews. This is great.
Personally think they don't really want to be involved in this war, you know. I mean, they took away our freedom and gave it to the gookers, you know. They don't want it. They'd rather be alive than free, I guess. You know. Poor dumb bastards.
It's an interesting movie.
What do I think about America's involvement in the war? Well, I think we should win. I hate Vietnam. There's not one horse in this whole country. There's not one horse in
I do have a bit of a problem with, like, sometimes Hollywood painting certain soldiers like, what were we even fighting for? I feel like most soldiers, and you can let me know if I'm wrong, most soldiers, most of them, are like wanting to fight for their country, wanting to fight for freedom, believe in it.
I wanted to be the first kid on my block to get a confirmed kill.
Huh. Is he being genuine there, or is he just joking? I can't even tell.
Cool money. $5 each.
$5. Is it because he's black?
What is this, man?
I think what he's trying to tell you is that you black boys pack too much meat. Hey, I won't be long. I'll skip the foreplay.
Jeez. Now that, I can believe that there was definitely quite a bit of, like, we'll say Vietnamese American babies. I actually think that there were some women that actually, Vietnamese, that would actually literally use that to try to trap American men and soldiers and to bring them back to the U.S. Because the truth be told is they didn't want to be in Vietnam. They wanted the freedom. They wanted to come to America. And again, if anything I'm saying you guys disagree with, obviously, let's have a conversation on it. And there might be some stuff that I'm wrong on too. If you want to try to give me resources and information, that's cool too. Although I think that I'm pretty accurate. Oh, jeez. See, I did hear about that type of stuff a lot. A lot of the booby trapping. It's so scary. Oh no. Is his skull open?
You're gonna make it.
Dude, chest compressions are so hard to do in movies. Realistically, because if you're doing them good, if you're doing them right, you're probably breaking ribs.
Hotel 1 actual, this is Cowboy.
I thought his skull was fractured or something on
Hotel
top.
1,
But maybe it was
actual,
just his
this
hair.
is
Yeah, it's just
Cowboy.
his hair, never mind. There was literally on D-Day, there was someone, or was it D-Day or Pearl Harbor? Where literally there was an explosion and their skull was like crumbled underneath the helmet. Jeez. Underneath the helmet. And literally the helmet was like holding their brain in. It was disturbing.
I think we should change direction.
He's getting shot like immediately. He's gonna blow up. Yeah, he's gonna blow up. No? Okay, thank goodness. Dude, I feel like the costume design in this is just really, really on point. It's so good. Jeez. Oof. That was a good squib. And see, I like this stuff too. Where they're all just like opening fire and it's just like you feel the impact of it. It's really good. Did they build these buildings to destroy? I almost feel like people are actually shooting at it. Oh, dude, no. It's this type of stuff right here that would very much desensitize you and not see the enemy as human. When your friend, when your brother in arms is being shot, he's defenseless on the ground and he's being shot. That would just be really hard on you. It's terrible.
I think we're being set up for an ambush. I think
Yep.
there may be strong enemy forces in those buildings.
They want you to come out and try to get him. And he's totally, oh my gosh. Oh no. No, he's dead at this point. There's no point. He's dead. Jeez, he's gonna get hit too now. Crap. Jeez. Okay, I love that shot. That type of stuff is what I like. Dude, what were you thinking?
I think they're gonna hit us any minute. When they do, we won't have time to pull out.
Yeah.
We gotta do it now. What about Doc J and 8-Ball? Doc J and 8-Ball are wasted. You know that. Bullshit!
Oh, dude, he's dead. He's so silly. He's gonna get... Oh my gosh.
Shit!
Yeah. Okay, it seems like he's at a decent angle for cover, at least from the sniper, unless there's ambush from somebody else. Don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit. Oh, he's up there. Not a bad perch. Jeez. It's still gonna be an ambush. Or are they just basically saying that he was a bad commanding officer? Is that what they're trying to get across?
No, Stutton, Donlin, Rock. You come with me, we'll take a look.
Yeah, I'd say leave some people behind to keep cover and keep an eye out for you. That way, if somebody's going to try to ambush you or snipe you or whatever, you're not all getting taken out. See, shots like this, I love. Oh, dude, there's a space in there. They can see through there.
Murphy, this is Cowboy.
Is somebody gonna get sniped? Oh, bro. Dude, I liked how that looked. That shot. Got kind of the lens flare from the fire and everything. See, I like the shot with the light behind them and everything. That just looks really good.
Let's go get some payback.
Okay.
He's gonna take off the peace symbol. I feel like that would be symbolic of like no peace today type of thing. See these handheld shots like from behind as they're walking, I love. They could have actually popped a few smokes to try to go get their guys. I guess they didn't know where the sniper was, but that would have been a good idea. I really do like the sets. The sets in this are really good. Did they film a lot of this in Vietnam, or are these actual like Hollywood sets? Or buildings that they made up to look like a Vietnamese building or something like that? Oh, shoot. Oh, it's a kid. It's like a little girl. Wow. It's terrible. I think she's dead. Careful. Is it your guy or commies?
Yeah. What's up?
Put her down. She's obviously...
We got the sniper.
First off, she's suffering. Which I understand, she killed your friends. Suffering is not necessarily a bad thing. But as a kid, and also who knows if she's got another gun on her or something. I mean, stop pointing your gun at your friends, guy.
I fucking blew her away. Am I bad? My last hater? Am I a heartbreaker?
And see, that's the thing too, as I hate when Hollywood does this, because I don't think that people would act like that as common as what you'd think. I can see joking to try to deal with the situation.
There's nothing we can do for her.
Okay. Let's get the fuck out of here.
What about her?
Fuck her. Let her rot.
I can understand that, but I feel like I'd just put her down. It's not your job to make sure people suffer.
I'm not trying to run this squad. I'm just saying we can't leave her like this.
Is he gonna put a shot on her?
If you want to waste her, go on.
Do it, man. She's suffering. Jeez, the tension in the scene is palpable. Is he gonna do it? I think he is. Jeez.
Fucking hardcore.
It's not trying to be hardcore. He's got the stare. Was it 1,000-yard stare or something like that? Wow, I like those shots. Look at that. That's an amazing shot. See this right here? I love this.
I'm in a world of shit. Yes, but I am alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not afraid.
Dang. That was crazy. That was good. That was really good. I have some complaints that I do want to go ahead and go over. But overall, I liked it. I think the first 40 minutes of the movie were my favorite. I did think the war scenes were really cool. I feel like they had some really cool stuff. Love this song, but I can't have this obviously in the reaction. But yeah, I have some issues with it. Let me see if I can kind of like explain my issues with it properly. First off, like I said, the first 40-something minutes of the movie with all the boot camp and stuff like that were freaking crazy good. With Arlie Ammer, or what's his name? Shoot, I'm forgetting. It's getting too late for me to remember basic names. But all that was great. I really did like that. And I did enjoy the war scenes. I don't always like whenever Hollywood puts forth the narrative of like, man, what are we even doing here? What are we fighting for? Oh man, they're all dying for nothing. You know, that is a little frustrating for me. And it, honestly, I'd imagine for anybody who's in the military, it's probably frustrating for them. And again, I've not been in the military. I've never been in the military. I just know I have respect for the people who are in the military and who have served. And maybe there are some people who do feel like this, but I feel like the vast majority of the people who've been in the military believed in what they're fighting for. And what they've been fighting for is freedom, for our ability for me to be able to stay home and do this, to be able to state my opinion here on my YouTube channel, to be able to react to this movie. They fought for me to be able to have the freedom to do that, which is really important, you know. And it's something that we obviously should all be eternally grateful for. The fact that, you know, our ancestors and our parents and our grandparents and, you know, and our brothers and sisters and our children will fight, you know, for this country and for freedom. And that type of thing is very important. I just think it's overplayed a little bit. The whole they fought for nothing. They act like every single soldier feels like that, especially soldiers that lose people and they see combat. What was it? The Lone Survivor. Is it Mark Cantrell? It's not. I can't remember what the Lone Survivor's name was. I'd have to look it up. But him, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but there was an interview he did. It was him and Mark Wahlberg, because Mark Wahlberg played him in the movie The Lone Survivor. The idea of that movie obviously is in the name, that he's the lone survivor and he goes through hell to try to survive, and he gets incredibly wounded and all that stuff. And they were in an interview, and I can't remember the exact words, so you can look up the interview and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this or not, but the interviewer said to this soldier, to this veteran who lost all his friends, all his brothers in this fight, this battle, this ambush, essentially, they all died. And he says something to the effect of, has to feel that they died for nothing. It's like, how does that make you feel? And he's just, obviously trying to get some sort of emotional response for the scoop, or for the interview. He's like, what, died for nothing? Are you kidding me right now? What makes you think they died for nothing? And he was really offended, reasonably so. And honestly, I appreciate Mark Wahlberg because obviously playing a character like that, you get to know that person and you get to almost get in the headspace of somebody like that. And the fact that he got in there, he defended him, and he told him that, he basically told the reporter to step off, told him he was being disrespectful, which I really appreciate that from Mark Wahlberg. I don't know much about Mark Wahlberg as a person, but that makes me really respect him. But it's that type of stuff that gets pushed a lot in Hollywood, and that's why you'll have people like reporters who've, grown up watching movies like this that want to ask that question, because that's kind of a lot of the propaganda that they've received, is that they died for nothing. These men aren't dying for nothing. They died for their country. They died for us. They died for our freedom. I don't know. That's one of the only really big issues I have with this movie. Otherwise, everything else was great. There's different practical things, like, for example, finger on the trigger, pointing, your gun at your fellow soldier or people that you're not intending to shoot. I don't think it's very accurate to have a lot of people just that they're just randomly shooting at citizens, or people that they don't know are Viet Cong, or that they don't know are the communists or whatever. And that I don't feel like is accurate at all. Like, literally in Vietnam, it was a very stringent sort of, the rules of engagement were very, very particular, to the point where, like, literally they were handicapped. The rules of engagement were way too restrictive. It was literally, like, for pilots especially, this is where I did a lot of my research. For pilots, it was literally, you could only engage if you were shot at. So literally you have to be shot at in order to engage with enemy fighters, which is insane. I don't know, just the real. So there's a lot of this that I don't feel like was accurate, and it was coming from a position of, like, the propaganda of Vietnam. Now, it does feel like in the end that it's not really hating on the people who fought in that war, or even the war itself. It doesn't feel like, it's just more. It does feel like it's just telling a story. It is just some character choices that I don't feel like is always accurate. That's depicted a lot in war movies, especially some older ones. I feel like that, especially when it comes to Vietnam, that is just not accurate. Now, I know I'm doing a lot of negative, but there's a lot of positive. Again, like, the first 40 something minutes of this movie were, like, really good. Some of the best movie, like, film that I've ever seen, honestly. I really enjoyed the boot camp stuff. Arlie Ermy? Yeah, that's his, Arlie Ermy was incredible as a drill sergeant, which is to be suspected considering I think he was one in real life, from what I understand, in the Marine Corps. And so I think he just basically, I think he improvised a lot of stuff, if I remember correctly. And it sounds like something Stanley Kubrick would do, but I don't know if he did. Did he put his actors, the Marines, the people who playing Marines, did he put any of them through that training, have them go through that training at all to get them into the same, like, I guess, vibe as a Marine, or to get them in the same headspace as a Marine to help with their performances? Because that'd be interesting if they did. That'd be really cool. But I freaking love the drill sergeant. I mean, he was a serious a-hole. Like, dude, understand at that point he's unstable and that you need to step off and, like, know when to turn off the douchebaggery, honestly, because him going forward and, like, abusing him some more did not help anyone at all, and that was just not good. And that's the thing, is I know there's from what I understand, there's been I don't know if it's as much nowadays, but drill sergeants a lot of times can be really brutal. Maybe not to that extent as he was, because he was literally punching them and slapping them across the face, which I honestly think that's a little much, to say the least. But as far as push-ups, and I think as far as, like, giving them somebody to not like, to hate, so they could be allied with each other, I think that's a good thing, and I think that's beneficial for the camaraderie of your unit or whatever. So that type of stuff's important, but he definitely did take it too far, for sure. But there's a lot of that type of stuff that I think that did go on a little bit. Again, not maybe not to that extent, but and also I do believe there's a lot of people that it literally is just a show. It literally is, they go in, they clock in, they're drill sergeant mode, they're, verbally abusive, they're teaching you a lesson, they're trying to whip you into shape, But then as soon as something like that happens, I feel like most of them would have enough sense to not like bully them into doing what you want. I feel like you can understand. You see the look on the guy's face. There's murder in his eyes. Dude, Vincent D'Onofrio was terrifying. Like, honestly, out of the performances in this movie, I think his was definitely, it's got to be my favorite out of the performances in this movie, because he literally goes from just like kind of dumb and like nice. Honestly, he goes from like dumb and nice to being just the most terrifying person I've ever seen on screen. On screen, dude. Vincent D'Onofrio as a scream killer would be dope. Anyways, he just goes from like really nice to just brutal. And honestly, and you gotta ask the question. I'm wondering if he wasn't all there to begin with, because I don't think just all that would have made anybody just snap. I think it's a matter of like he was already a little off, and then that stuff just kind of pushed him over the edge the rest of the way. And also, who doesn't improve? Not even kidding. Who doesn't improve after that much like abuse and that much and literally you see your friends getting like abused because you keep screwing up. Why in the world do you keep screwing up? Why? Just focus hard. And the fact that he kept a freaking jelly donut, it was literally against the rules. It was literally against, I went from feeling bad for him because it's like, oh shoot, he just must have forgot to lock, whatever. That's just a stupid mistake, because it's not the brightest person in the world. To like, dude, you know you're not supposed to have that in barracks. What are you thinking? To like, I kind of was like, okay, well, he deserves a little bit of like calling out at this point, and he deserves to feel bad because he screwed up. Man, I tell you, I have so many thoughts about this movie. It's a very complex movie, I'd say, and maybe I'm not really capturing it all together. I probably want to watch it again, honestly, to really kind of get the full point of it. I did like it. Yeah, his performance. So like Vincent D'Onofrio's character Pyle was definitely my favorite performance. His performance was fantastic. Oh, actually, hold on. Arlie Ermy. No, that's my favorite performance. And then Vincent D'Onofrio. It's really sad. I saw that going a completely different direction, honestly, because I feel like he was doing a good job as a drill sergeant, because he did place him with somebody who was going to help him, and I thought he was improving, but I guess he wasn't. He was still just screwing up, and he was impossible to help. Dude, that frustrated me so bad. I get why. And you have Joker. He just goes along with the crowd, obviously, and then beats him with the bar of soap as well. It's ridiculous. Can't go along with the crowd, man. It's such a mistake. There's so many things that, like, it's so easy to get pressured into doing that, and you just can't do it. It's an interesting movie. I'm really not entirely sure what I think of it. I think as of right now, I might need to watch it again at some point. I don't know when it'll be, but I think I need to watch it again at some point to really appreciate it. I did like it, though. I'm trying to think about if there's anything. I think I would probably rate that maybe a 7.5. Like I said, I liked it. Like, honestly, you know what? I'll take it up to an 8, because an 8 out of 10. Because I feel like the whole movie, I still feel like the beginning, like 45 minutes of it is the best part of the movie. I think it's the strongest part of the movie as far as the story goes and the acting and all that stuff. The problem is I just know a little too much about the Vietnam War to look at this as just a movie. So I apologize for that, but again, my complaints isn't necessarily my complaints is about different factual things as far as like where Vietnam's concerned, and also the mentality of most veterans that I've talked to or that I've seen. Those are my main complaints. But as far as like as a movie goes, the structure, the characters, the writing, the directing, the cinematography, all of it was phenomenal. I really did appreciate that. I really appreciated a lot of shots, especially with the fire behind them. I love that type of stuff. I love the scenes with the men marching and singing along to the songs that Drill Sergeant was singing, or chanting along, I guess more. I always love those scenes in any sort of military movie. It's just something about a bunch of men running together, singing about what they don't know what they've been told. You know what I mean? So that being said, yeah, I did like it. Like I said, I feel like the beginning of the movie really honestly brought the rating up for me a little bit. I think, like I said, again, overall as a movie, from a filmmaking standpoint, is really good. There's just a few errors, I think, factually, as far as that goes, that are hard for me to look past a little bit, especially knowing so much about it. That being said, let me know what do you think of Full Metal Jacket. I think it's a really good movie, and I really liked it. And I don't think there's a single character in this I didn't like, or that I didn't appreciate in some way. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, let me know what you thought down below. Actually, what's your favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? So far, mine is The Shining. The Shining is my favorite so far out of these two. I definitely like that, because The Shining, I mean, that's a near perfect movie. I love that. That's like a 9.5, honestly, out of 10 is The Shining, and this is, I'll put it at an 8, just because, especially that beginning scene again, or the beginning, boot camp segment. But you keep going. Oh, but no, let me know what you think of the movie. If you want to see the full reaction to this movie and the other reactions on my profile, or on my, not my profile, on my YouTube channel, then check out my Patreon, which is of course linked down below in the description, or on my YouTube channel, so you can check me out there. And but if you're not interested in doing that, of course you can go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment down below, all that stuff. Anything that would help out with the algorithm and get more people to watch my videos, I would very much appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.